Now, Lindsey Graham has been saying that the Tea Party is going to die away. King George thought the same thing. How do we do it? You stand up, as you are doing. You stand up and you loudly proclaim that we will not be ruled, we will not be planned. We are Americans, we are free men and women. And we will fight if necessary. The planners, of course, are still, they're attacking. They're attacking the Constitution and the Declaration. The things we honor today, they laugh at. They say it was just a bunch of old white men who did that. It might have been good 200 years ago, but it's not worth much today. Is that right? No. No. It still is the greatest thing in the world. They are pushing their agenda. Step by step, they're moving to take away our rights and to move this country into a third world banana republic. That is intolerable, and it must be stopped. You know, a number of years ago, I found myself in the People's Republic of Massachusetts. And while I was there, I got out of Boston as fast as I could. We went out to the Concord River. And maybe you've never heard of it, but I stood on the shore. Right next to me was a grave of a British soldier. And there was a little bridge going across this river, and like a small hill, a green, if you would. In fact, it was called Concord Green. And then I saw a plaque. And the plaque read essentially as follows: by this rude bridge that brooks the stream, their flags to April's breeze unfurled, here the embattled farmers stood and fired the shots heard round the world. Then I looked up, and I almost saw them. You could almost see the 400 people standing up there with their own arms. And they were looking down upon the most powerful nation on the face of the earth, and the most powerful army on the face of the earth. And they fired. We too can be just as those farmers were. We should adopt the cry that they let forth just before they fired on the British Empire. Let this be our motto, and if necessary, our battle cry. Not one step further. Thank you.
David Schippers, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'd like to thank all our sponsors. Conservative Magazine of Illinois, they're raffling off a t-shirt, also a Statue of Liberty picture, and 2 tickets to see Glenn Beck on September 18th. That's for every person that buys a subscription to their magazine. Oh yeah, I need to buy that. Also, the Lake County Republican Party is raffling off a vacation to Hawaii. Check with them on those. They've got lots of tickets. I've even got a handful of those tickets. So. And also, regarding Conservative Magazine, the Lake County Tea Party gets a cut of any subscription sold today. So if you want to support our organization, you can do it by subscribing to them. And they also paid for some of the advertising that helps promote this event. Now I'd like to introduce the Illinois Director of Americans for Prosperity, Joe Calomino.
Thanks, Paul. Well, hello, activists. Hello, fellow patriots, and hello, fellow Americans. It's kind of hard to follow Mr. Schipper. What a great speech. Give him another applause, please. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing I can say to you today that makes a difference, it would be remember that November is coming and not a moment too soon. We must help to educate our friends, our neighbors, about the importance of this election. We must be committed to getting the vote out for those candidates that think like us. We have to work hard in order to achieve the goals that Mr. Schippers talked about, that Senator Brady talked about. Now, as Paul said, my name is Joe Calomino. I'm the State Director for the Illinois chapter of Americans for Prosperity. For those of you that aren't familiar with Americans for Prosperity, know that we're a government watchdog, activist type organization that's focused on educating and empowering citizens just like you to take back your government and to hold your elected officials accountable for how they're spending our tax dollars. And for the last 6 years, Americans for Prosperity are over 1 million members nationwide, and folks just like you and I have been trying hard to have our voices heard by our elected officials. We've been telling our elected officials at all levels of government, stop the waste, fraud, and abuse of our tax dollars. Stop the out-of-control spending. Stop catering to the special interest groups, and start developing policies that promote prosperity in lieu of government dependency. Now I ask all of you here, have your politicians heard your voices? Have your politicians heard your voices? If not, then let them know in no uncertain terms that November is coming, and so are you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the American people are suffering. We're losing jobs, we're losing our homes, and we're losing our retirement savings. Yet liberal policy makers continue to develop and implement failing public policies, unwanted entitlement programs, more rules, regulations, mandates, and tax increases. We need public policies that promote private sector jobs, not those public sector jobs that have been bloating the size of government and draining our tax dollars. Now, our elected officials need to understand that the role of government is to provide citizens with the opportunity to obtain and choose services like higher education and health care on their own. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Thomas Jefferson who said, I predict future happiness for Americans if they can prevent the government from wasting the labors of the people under the pretense of taking care of them. Now, our founding fathers held that certain truths were to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They were right then, and they're right today. We need to elect officials who can create public policies that provide each and every one of us an opportunity to achieve the American dream. A dream of a land in which life should be better, richer, and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability and or our achievements. A dream of social order in which every man and woman shall be able to attain the fullest stature of which they are innately capable, and be recognized by others for what they are, regardless of who they are or where they're from. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly the greatest country in the world. Its greatness is not due to our government, however. It's due to the commitment and tenacity of its people. We have the power to make change. We have the power to turn our country around. We need to seize this moment in history and take back our country. Now, I leave you with a few action items that will help us move towards the American dream. One, it's a little self-serving, I ask that you join AFP. It's free, easy, and you receive regular updates and information on the issues we face every day, and you'll receive action items that will help you have your voices heard. All you need to do is go to afpil.org and check us out. Secondly, stay involved. Attend events like this, help campaigns, become educated on the issues. Do something, just anything, but stay engaged. And finally, make sure you do everything possible to remind yourself, friends, and neighbors that November is coming, and you need to vote on November 2nd. Thank you.